Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be setting up the month of October in my memory planner. We'll decorate a monthly spread and a currently page, so come plan with me. And I've got some washi tapes here ready to go. Along with this brush pen, I will use some various papers and some glue to stick them down. This set of Dollar Tree stickers, and these Planty Things sticker books, which I'll pull from. Okay, you guys, I went ahead and grabbed out 3 sheets of cardstock in the same design from this cardstock pack. I did pick this up from Michaels last year, but every season Michaels does these cardstock packs, so I'm sure you can find something comparable this season if you are looking to recreate this spread. So I'm just going to cut it down to classic size to begin, and classic size is 7 inches by 9¼ inches. I'm also going to take the sheets that I had pre-printed to use this month and just cut out the monthly section to add to the cardstock. So I'm just going to use my guillotine cutter once again, get pretty straight lines, and cut these objects down just a bit. Anything that was a little too small to get there into the blade, I went ahead and hand cut with my scissors. And I also did some cleanup too on some of my lines because I did cut a few of the edges a bit crooked. So as you can see, I am leaving a little bit of a gap between the edge of the month and the cut line just to give it a little bit of a border. And like I said, I didn't cut it quite straight enough, so I went back and cleaned up some of the edges with my scissors. Okay, we'll just take those and put those away, and now grab out a couple of these cardstock pages and put them together front to back. Since this cardstock is single-sided, I did want the currently page to have the same pattern on the back, so that's why we're gluing them together. And I'm going to use my Tombow runner for this since it is cardstock and fairly heavyweight. I feel like the glue runner works a little bit better with that. But for the pages, I'm going to be using my glue stick. That is a little bit more forgiving for lighter weight papers and stuff, and it makes it a little easier to maneuver on the page so it doesn't get stuck down like immediately. I'll be using that for the rest of the pages. I also need to punch these cardstock pages, and I probably should have just individually punched them before I glued them together. Didn't really think about that. My Happy Planner punch can handle 1 thickness of cardstock, but that's it. So the doubled up cardstock, there was no way that was going to be able to manage a clean punch through my Happy Planner punch. So what I ended up doing was using my We Are Memory Keepers Power Punch. Love that thing. And that came in handy in a pinch. So you can see I'm gluing down the cutouts that I had made from the insert now and pretty much putting them where they were on the page before I cut them out, so that any of the negative space is now the cardstock backer. I really didn't think that far ahead on this. I did pull this tissue paper because I felt like if I wanted to add some stickers or decor, the pumpkin background might be a little much. So I thought that layering over some sheets of this tissue paper style print would help mute the background a little bit and make the decor on top stick out a little bit better. So I'm just going to add a couple of corners of this tissue paper. Like I said, just trying this out, see if it will work and give me the desired result. And it was a little bit of a hot mess, you guys, when I was doing this. I didn't have wax paper. I didn't think I really could use it and still get the right effect because I really needed to see how the stickers and everything were directly on the cardstock versus having that layer of transparency in between. I think it just wouldn't have been as effective. So there was that. I didn't have my wax paper. Also, the lighting. I'm trying a new lighting setup so that the light's more consistent, and that was kind of throwing things off. So I'm sorry that a lot of the edges and stuff are off camera. I just was working and trying to figure things out, and it was a little bit crazy on this one, but I'll hopefully get the hang of it and get it more orderly for the next video, so just bear with me on this one. So anyway, I have added in a little bit of washi tape as well as a few of these leaf stickers that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I saw them and I thought that they were really cute, but they're different. They are not, I don't know what material they are. They almost have like a rubbery vibe to them. They're textured, like you can feel them. They have some dimension to them, and although they worked perfectly, and I thought that they would be a good match for this spread because of the thickness of them, wouldn't be as transparent as opposed to like another type of clear sticker. So I thought they would be good, but they're just a very different type of sticker than I'm used to working with. Still very effective though. I think everything pretty much turned out how I wanted. They layered okay. They weren't the stickiest, so layering, you know, I wouldn't layer too many on top of each other, but one or two layers seemed to work out well. And yeah, I thought that they were really pretty and cool. So something different in my planner here. I'm also putting in a little bit of white gel pen to clean up the lines between a couple of empty days to give a little bit of a nicer look behind these quotes. And I'll be pulling from the Planny Things sticker book here, just adding in a few fall themed quotes to just jazz up things a little bit. I also do want to have the month title here on the page, so I'll just use this cutout from the insert, drop that in, and I think that'll look pretty good. So I do want to add some washi tape, so let's figure out how to bring some of that in without being too much here on spread. I am using a lined vertical layout from my shop, so I do memory keep on this spread, and I usually just write in a small memory each day, a highlight if you will. The lines just keep things nice and orderly. Without lines, I don't know, things just get a little out of hand. So I decided to bring in some washi tape and wanted to have it layered here. So I pulled up the quote and I'm going to drop in some of this beige grid washi along with this leaf washi I got from Plannything, and just see how that looks in the boxes. That one was really stuck down, so I decided to leave it where it was and figure out how to put the washi tape in, even though there was that quote there. I went ahead and pulled up the top a little bit just to give me a little bit of breathing room so that I could drop in this washi. And I'm cutting it to size with my precision cutter. Unfortunately, the layering isn't quite as clean as the one on top because I, again, thought about this after the fact. That's why I love my wax paper, guys. I like to work things out ahead of time before I stick things down, because then you don't get these problems where things don't quite work the way you want them to. Let's go ahead and trim off the excess there. That's probably as good as it's going to get for now. Like I said, I want to add in washi tape, so the other washi tape colors that I pulled, I thought I might bring in here in amongst the month. Just going to drop some of it in, see how I like it. We do have a lot going on outside of the monthly boxes, so I was thinking about that. Just a little bit of washi should be enough and give me a little bit of color inside there without it being too overwhelming. So I'm just going to try layering some of it up here on the spread. Just randomly trying some things. I did cut that grid washi down so that it wouldn't be so high profile and take up too much space in those boxes. Also varying how I'm layering things. So sometimes I'm having the darker brown on top and sometimes not. I'll probably come back and add more leaves here, but I want to move on to the back just to get an idea how much decor I'm going to need to fill up the backside. So I'm in the Plan Anything sticker book, the Seasonal Vibe sticker book, and grabbing out some of her large boxes from there. It had just the right size, I think, for what I use these boxes for. I track my media every month, like the things that I consume. TV watched, books read, movies watched as well, or seen. So I'll put those in those 3 boxes. I'll just add a few smaller boxes there for headers, see how I like that. I'll also add in more of that tissue paper background so that I can make a nice cluster up here at the top. It does not like to rip, this tissue paper. I don't normally work with tissue paper, but I had this in my stash from a subscription box that I had. And so I thought I would try to use it. But yeah, it's not a very, I don't know, friendly ripping material. It doesn't really like it. But I'm going to add a few corners in of that same tissue paper. Again, just kind of soften up that background a bit in those areas. Also lay in a little bit of this washi tape. And then I will trim off the excess as well. Just get a nice clean corner. This is the first time I've done a full background with cardstock. I think that it is a really cool idea. I'm pretty sure I saw the Scrappy Wife do this for the first time, or maybe I've seen it before, but that's the one I remember being like, oh, that's a good idea to try. So the idea of using like a scrapbook paper background, I believe, came from there. That was my inspiration. I've been wanting to try it. It's been a while, though, since I had seen it. And thought, well, fall, something different. I just wanted to do a little something different for the monthly because I kind of feel like I get in a rut with my monthly spreads, being as they are somewhat functional. It kind of limits what you can do decor-wise. This is a really interesting way to really add a bunch of decor without messing with your functional area. So an idea just to try, and you can see how it might work on your own, or you can do, whatever works best for your layout. You can do various cardstock patterns or mix and match, or even just do partial. Lots of options there. So I'm just trying to layer in some of these leaves and again, just get the similar effect that I had on the front. Like I said, these stickers are just a little bit different to work with, the rubbery vibe that they have. I think that, again, they work well with this cardstock backer not being transparent, but also die cut, which is a real plus because then they're really able to stand out against the background, even though the background is quite busy. And I'm going to add just a little bit of that leaf washi tape behind these headers. I was just throwing stuff down, you guys. I wanted to put all the elements that you saw in the other ones down. So again, it was just more of a, let's just throw things at it and see how they turn out. I have quite a few extra leaves, so I think I'm just going to try to blow out this whole sheet and put more here on the monthly. Maybe again in the corners, take up as much space as I can with the stickers that I have there, all in the same style. And I'll save the oak leaf ones that I have for another spread. They are also that same kind of textured rubbery material. It'll be interesting to see how that works on a different spread when I end up using those. So using some of the trimmings, filling things out. Using my little sticker spatula to make sure everything's stuck down nicely. Get those corners we're catching a little bit. So clean up the edges. I think we're close here. I was gonna get ready to drop it in and then realize I did not punch out a couple of the holes. So I just went and grabbed that same disc punch, power punch, and that made life a lot easier. Last but not least, what I'll do is I'll add in headers for the back on my currently page. And once I'm done with that, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye.